So, based on the theory that we learned in the last video, we are going to first create the elastic beanstalk because that will be our deployment server where the elastic beanstalk will manage our instances and all the stuff. So, let us go ahead and create the beanstalk. So, go to the elastic beanstalk. First, we will create the application. Again, what exactly? This will manage all the instances on our behalf. We don't need to create any EC2 instance or deploy any Java or any packages there. It will just create whatever is required to run our application. That's what you can see here, end-to-end web application management. And that's what we are going to do. So let us create the application. First, I will give a name. So, because it is a to do, I will give the name as to do beanstalk. That will be a good name. You can give some keys if you want. So, maybe the application is specify the name as the application. If you want, you can go ahead and specify a category as REST API. So the initial information we have completed. Next, we should select the platform, which is the language that you are going to use and what kind of platform. So you can see there is a .NET, Docker, Glassfish, Go, and Java, and even there is a Tomcat. But we are not going to deploy the Tomcat. Why? Because Spring Boot application has an embedded Tomcat. So we will just specify Java here. And because I developed the to-do application using Java 11, here is what you can use Java 8, and there are some deprecated things, but we won't go there. We will use the Corretto 11, which will be the JDK 11 or the JRE 11 that they will give us. And then first, we are not going to upload our code. Why? Because we want to do it in a continuous pipeline. We have to do a DevOps or a CI/CD here. But then we will ask the Elastic Beanstalk to deploy some sample applications there. And you can see if you want to configure a little bit more option, but we are not going to configure, but just for information purpose. Let me click on the configure and see what is happening behind the scenes. So you can see here the presets start. So single instance, which is free tier eligible. Of course, when we go to production, we can have high availability where it will have a load balancer and all the things configured for us. Or you can go with a custom configuration. But let me keep it very simple and go for a free tier. And the free tier gives us the abilities. You can see that in the environment there will be four properties already specified as environment variables. If you are going to use a Gradle build or a Maven build, the support is already available for you. And there will be a Java home environment variable pointing to the JRE. So all the things are there. We are not having any load balancer, not nor we have any VPC specific. Definitely, you can play along, create your own VPC and specify which is subnet you want that this EC2 instance to be created. All these things are possible. All these things can be configured according to the need of the application. But for let us go with the default and create the application. So when we create the application, what it does a lot of things behind the scenes. The first thing, it will create an EC2 instance. It will create an S3 instance for managing the artifacts. All these things are done behind the scenes. So if you go to the EC2 management, let us go to the instances running at some point. So as of now there is no instances running. It will take some time because it is still creating. So let us wait for a while because before Beanstalk does its job. Once it does the job, you will be able to see one instance is appearing here. I'm just seeing whether it is coming already, and then we will be able to see the an S3 environment coming. So let us wait for a while and then continue it from there. I'm just checking whether no matches yet. So let us wait for a while and continue. Let us see now whether the any instance is running here or not. I will refresh. Now you can see the name has been given to do Beanstack env1, and an instance has been created automatically for us. And if you click on here, you can see the details. So I didn't do anything. It was the Beanstack that created this particular EC2 instance, and you can see that it has been given a public IP and then a private IP address from the subnet mask or the CIDR they have created. We could have easily told Beanstack to create the instance in our subnet if we had used the VPC, but we are keeping everything simple here. So then if you go to, let us go to the S3 and see what has happened there. So EC2 instances is where our application is going to be deployed, and any artifact that we are going to generate, like the jar file, you can see the Elastic Beanstalk has created um, a an S3 bucket too, and you can see some information happening here. So of course it will go on for the time being. Let us see whether the application has been created. So after some time, if you click on the to do Beanstack, I should see is the Beanstack is still as pending. So let us wait a little while and see whether the application is active. Now you can see that the health is okay. So the Beanstack has created some environments. This is the environment that I created before for testing whether it is working fine. So here you can see, because I terminated everything there. So here you can see this is the new environment. So going back to the applications, you can see we had created a to-do Beanstack. It has created an EC2 instance which is now running, and it has created an S3 for the artifacts to be stored. We don't need to worry about what is happening behind the scenes or how exactly Beanstack, because our aim is to use the functionality provided by Elastic Beanstalk to get our job done instead of we creating everything automatically. And then if you go to the EC2 instance, you can see that there has is a public IP address, and a security has been given. So there is no SSH facility as of now. It is just opening to a port 80, and that's what we want. We want our to do application available in port 80. Anything else? Nothing else to discuss. So this is what Beanstack is doing for you. We created a small Beanstack and asked them to deploy a simple application there. So it created the necessary infrastructure for us so that we can use Beanstack for creating our code pipeline. So let us create the pipeline in the next video. So bye for now.